Okay, so let's come into mountain pose. So we'll start in mountain pose today. So feet together. Just take a moment, start to ground yourself. Make sure your knees are over your ankles. Make sure your hips are over your knees. Slightly tuck your tailbone in. We're going to roll our shoulders back and down. We want to slightly tuck the chin in. We want to feel like there's a string being pulled through the top of our head. So we're standing up really tall, coming into mountain pose, Tadasana. Just take a moment, center yourself. You can rock forward and back, left and right. You want the weight evenly distributed in your feet. I'm going to stand up really tall. And then as we come into our bodies, let's start taking those yogic breaths. So you can put one hand on your belly if you'd like. We're going to inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. Go ahead and take 4 more of those on your own. So it's really important that we breathe like this because we're activating the rest and digest nervous system. Just bringing us more into connection with our bodies. We're coming into the present moment. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose. So we're gonna call this class Balance Your Third Chakra, Balance Your Life. So we're gonna be balancing the third chakra today. So let's just take a moment and do spirit to spirit, and we'll create an intention for our practice tonight. So bring your hands to your heart, eyes closed down. We're going to take a moment and connect with our spirit, your own spirit. So focus on the center of your chest. And then pick a color for your spirit. If you don't see a color, just make one up. And then connect with your guardian angels, your healing guides, your teachers, your ancestors. And you want to connect with the highest versions of themselves. And then we'll connect with the higher power. You can call it whatever you want, God, creation, truth. And then we'll create an intention for our class tonight, asking that we balance our third chakra, so that way we balance our life. And then let's take an inhale, exhale. Okay, let's warm up the spine. So let's inhale, reach up really tall, just stay on your heels, and then come forward, bending at the hips. And then slowly come to the top. Your head's gonna come up last. So let's do that again. Reach up really tall, creating space in between our vertebrae. And then inhale, come back up. You want to be taking those yogic breaths. So reach up really tall. This time you can come up onto your heels. Come down. And then keep going at your own pace. I just want to talk to you about the chakras real fast. So these chakras, these are our energy wheels or our vortices. These are energy that we're talking about, subtle energy that's located in your astral spine. And so these are important because these hold our thoughts, our emotions, our habits, our actions, our desires. All of these get stuck in these energy centers in our body. And when they become stuck, these wheels, they stop moving and you may experience blocks in your life. So it's important to know where these chakras are located and what they do, so that way we can move through them through yoga and we can balance them and our life will move freely and it will flow freely. So we're focusing on the third chakra today, which is located behind the navel, the Manipura. This is your personal power. This is your purpose. This is getting stuff done. So this is really important because when we balance the third chakra, it balances all 7 of the other chakras. So we want to focus on balancing the third chakra today. So that way we balance our life. We can get more stuff done. This is our personal power. So this is really important. Okay, so now that you guys are finished, let's come back to mountain pose. So feet together. I just want to really focus on standing up tall. You know, we're always in front of a computer or a screen and feeling all hunched over like that. So really expand across your chest. This may seem like a simple pose, but a lot of people can't stand for long periods of time in mountain pose because our mind is wandering. So we want to bring it back to our body, focus on our body, our alignment. Are we standing up tall? Are we taking those yogic breaths? Okay, so let's come into warrior 1. So we'll bring our right foot forward, our left foot comes back, and then you're gonna make sure your knee is over your ankle, and then you're gonna square your hips to the front of the room, bring your arms up, come into your lunge. So take some deep breaths here. So you can activate your feet here by pressing down on the outside edges of your feet. Kind of gives this wrapping sensation to your thighs. Kind of, you feel it wrapping to the back of your legs. You can do that to activate your feet here. Get a little deeper in the pose. Okay, bring your arms down, bring that left foot forward. We'll do that on the other side. So left foot comes back, right foot comes back, left foot comes forward. And then you want to make sure your knee is over your ankle. And then square your hips to the front of the room. Inhale, bring your arms up, come into your lunge. So you want to continue to square your hips to the front of the room. And if you feel like your shoulders are up by your ears, just try relaxing your shoulders. But stay strong through the hands here. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. So when our third chakra is balanced, some of these attributes that we have is we have our own personal power, we have increased mental activity, we have high self-esteem, we have really great willpower, we have purpose. So that's when our first chakra is balanced. And then let's bring our arms down, bring the right foot forward. Okay, let's do warrior 2. So bring your left foot back, and then your right foot comes forward, and then we want to line up our heel with the middle of our left foot. Make sure your knee is over your ankle, and then bring your arms to a T, and then come into your lunge. We're going to look just past our right fingertips here. Take some deep breaths. You want to feel the expansion across your chest. So when our third chakra is out of balance, when it has a deficiency, this can look like low self-esteem, low confidence. This can look like contracted energy. This can look like an unhappy life. So this is, we're balancing our third chakra, balancing our life. And then just take a moment, look past those right fingertips. And then bring your arms down, bring your left foot forward. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So bring the left foot forward, bring the right foot back. So you want to make sure your heels line up with the middle of your right foot. Make sure your knees over your ankle. And then bring your arms to a T. You want to look past your left fingertips here. Really feel the expansion across your chest. So when we have too much of the third chakra going on, That can look like aggressiveness, that can look like being controlling, that can be like bulldozing people, being overpowering. So we can have a deficiency, we can have an excess, we can have it blocked. So this is really important to balance the third chakra because it's kind of like a chakra biohack. Everyone wants the quick, fast tip. So balance the third chakra, balance all the other chakras. We don't even have to worry about them. So it's really important to balance the third one. We'll focus on doing that tonight in our practice. And then bring the arms down, bring the right foot forward, come back to mountain pose, Tadasana, feet together, hands equal by your sides, slightly tuck your chin in. You want to feel that string being pulled to the top of your head. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. Okay, so let's come into chair pose. So feet hip width apart. This is definitely balancing our third chakra. And then we're going to bring all of our weight into our heels. We're going to bring our arms up, bring your heels, all the weight into your heels. You want to make sure your knees are behind your toes. Take some deep breaths here. See if you can go any lower. Focusing on that third chakra, it's located right behind your navel. Just bringing some awareness to it, bringing some energy to that area. Okay, let's release that. Come into ragdoll. So inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your toes and then come down to your heels, bending at the hips, come forward. Just grab your elbows here. Let your head fall forward. Let your neck fall forward. Just release your back. So it's really important to balance that third chakra because this is where our energy comes in. So our energy actually comes in through the third chakra, bounces down to the second chakra, to the first chakra, and then shoots all the way up to the top of the spine. So that's why it's really important to balance that third chakra, so that way we can keep the energy flowing. And so it can go up to the seventh chakra, and that's also how it balances all 7 of them. So it's really important to keep that third chakra balanced. And then slowly roll your head to the top. Your head's going to come up last. Come back to mountain pose, feet together. Roll your shoulders back and down. Okay, from here, let's come into half moon pose. So inhale, reach up really tall. Let's come onto your toes. Come down to your heels, and then we'll come over to the right. So feel the stretch all down the left side of the body. Take some really deep breaths here. This is Ardha Chandrasana on the right side, half moon pose. Bring your arms back to the center, big circle with the arms. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, reach up really tall. Come onto your toes, come down to your heels, come over to the left. So feel the stretch all down the right side of the body. Make sure you're taking those yogic breaths. So we inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. You want to take some deep breaths here, really breathe into that rib cage. Really expand all those little muscles all between your ribs. And then come back to center, big circle with the arms. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose, feet together, stand up really tall. Let's do some neck rolls. So bring our chin to our chest, and then slowly to the left 3 times. Relax the jaw, stretch the jaw. Come back to center when you're finished. We'll do 3 on the right, bring the chin to the chest. Reverse. Come back to center when you're finished. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into triangle pose. So we're going to bring our right foot forward, our left foot comes back. This time our heels are lined up. And then you want to straighten that right leg and then bring your arms to a T. And then from here, we're going to inhale, lean over to the right. And then exhale, come down. So your hand is on your calf or your ankle or the mat. Look up towards that right hand. Make sure your arms are parallel and then look down towards the mat. Take some deep breaths here. And then bring that left arm down, bring the left foot forward. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, let's do triangle on the other side. So we're going to bring the left foot forward. The right foot comes back. Your heels are lined up here. The right foot is straight. And then you're going to straighten that left leg. And then bring your arms to a T. And then we're going to inhale, come over to the left. And then exhale, come down. So your hand is on your calf, your ankle, or the mat. Look up towards that right hand. Make sure your arms are parallel. Look back down. And then bring the right arm down and then bring that right foot forward. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into a forward fold. So we'll come into a back bend first. So bring our hands to our heart. So we're going to inhale, lift back, and we're lifting through the rib cage. And then exhale, come forward, come into our forward fold. So you can grab behind the calves, behind the ankles, or let your arms fall forward, whatever feels good. And then we're going to walk our hands back into downward dog. So you want your hands hip width apart, your feet hip width apart. Spread your fingertips as wide apart as you can here to activate your hands. And you can pedal your feet if that feels good. You just want to drive your tailbone towards the sky. Bend your knees if you need to. We're looking between our feet here. You're driving your heels down towards the mat. Take some really deep breaths here. And then from here, we're going to come onto our knees, and then we're going to push back into child's pose. So feet together, either knees together or hip width apart. Just take some deep breaths here. And then from here, we're going to come into cat-cow. And then we're going to come on to all fours. And then, so we are going to do 3 minutes of cat-cow. So 3 minutes of cat-cow will balance all the chakras. Balancing that third chakra, like we said, the energy comes in through the third chakra, goes down to the second, to the first, and then to the top of the head. So that's what this cat-cow is doing. We're balancing all 7 of the chakras. So we're going to inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. And then keep going. We're balancing the third chakra, we're balancing the rest of our life because this is our personal power. This is how we get stuff done. This is our fire. This is associated with the fire element. So this is our digestive fire. This is how we digest our life. This is how we assimilate information. This is how we assimilate food. This is how we take in other people, their emotions, what they're telling us. All goes to the third chakra. So it's really important to balance that third chakra. Balance your third chakra, balance the rest of your life. So keep doing cat-cow. One more inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. And then come in to child's pose. Okay, and then let's come into a seated position. Okay, let's come into easy pose. So we're going to come into our addiction meditation. So this meditation is super important because it gets rid of our addictive habits, our addictive thoughts. We can have like negative thought patterns that are running in our brains. So this is repatterning all of the addictions in our life. This could be anything from social media, food, cigarettes, you name it. So this is repatterning our addictions. So we're going to start with our thumbs, gently resting on our temples. Our fingers are coming up onto the pads of our palms. We're gently saying sa, ta, na, ma, and we're gently clenching the back molars as we say this mantra. Eyes closed down. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so part of balancing the third chakra is a bandha, which is a lock. So this locks the energy. So we're going to practice this because we're going to use it in Sakriya later, which is going to balance that third chakra. So it's called the Mula Bandha. And this is a root lock, and it acts like a lock. So that way we can hydraulically shoot the energy up our spine. So we are going to practice this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze the rectum, sex organs, and navel. And so you can do that by kind of holding the breath. So inhale, and then squeeze. This is the Mula Bandha, and then exhale. Okay, let's do that again. So inhale. So we're squeezing rectum, sex organs, navel. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Hold the breath. Rectum, sex organs, navel. And then exhale. So that's the root lock. That's the Mula Bandha. So we'll be doing that later in Sakriya. So let's just do Sakriya now. All right. So this is balancing our third chakra. So we're going to come onto our heels. And then from here, we are going to bring the fingers into a point. And let's see, for men, it's going to be the right thumb over the left. Women, we're going to be the left thumb over the right, if I'm identifying. And then our fingers are coming to a point, and our arms are coming up by our ears. And so I'll demonstrate it first, and then we'll do it together. So we're going to say Sut, and we're going to bring the navel in, and then Nam. So Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam. So give me a second. We'll do this together. Okay, right over left, left over right. Okay. Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam, Sut, Nam. So as we say the mantra, we're bringing the navel up to the spine, in towards the spine. Sut, Nam. We're focusing on that third chakra. Sut, Nam, 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 Sut, nam. And then let's inhale. Hold the breath. And then exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale. And then we're going to pull the mula bandha, rectum, sex organs, navel, lift up. Imagine the energy moving up the spine. And then exhale. Release the arms. And then let's come into child's pose. So really stretch your arms out. And let's come up into a seated position. And then let's come into camel pose, Ustrasana. So let's come on to our toes. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands to our low back. So we're going to bring our elbows together here. And then we're going to inhale, lift our hips up. So come into your back bend. So take some deep breaths here. Again, we're continuing to balance that third chakra. So bring some energy and some focus to the point behind your navel. When we balance our third chakra, balances the rest of our chakras. When we balance our life. And then come forward, bring the hips back. And then leading with the chest, let's come down. Let's come into folded leaf. Bring your head to the mat. Let your shoulders fall forward. Let's come into hair pose. So we're going to come onto the top of our head. Grab the back of your heels here. Really round through your back. Take some deep breaths here. let's come back down into folded leaf. Let your shoulders roll forward. And then from here, let's come onto all fours, and then let's come into pigeon pose. So we'll bring the right foot across, so bring your left foot back. We're going to take some deep breaths here. So it's also important to balance that third chakra because it's located where our digestive system is. So that also balances your digestion, your physical digestion. If anyone has any gut issues, balancing that third chakra will help you with your gut issues, your digestion. Let's switch sides. Let's bring that right foot back, stretch that right foot out a little bit, and then let's do the left side. So bring your left leg across, and then come down. So take some deep breaths here. You may notice that one side is tighter than the other. Just send your breath to those tight spaces. This is where we store deep-seated emotions. Let's bring the right foot in, and then stretch that left foot out. And then let's come into a seated position. Coming into easy pose. Okay, so this area of our body is also known as our core. So, if you think about it, if we strengthen our core, we strengthen our abs, we're strengthening our back, which also strengthens most of the rest of our body. So it's the same thing with the third chakra. That third chakra is strengthening our core, our personal power. By strengthening that third chakra, we're strengthening the rest of the body. So this one's really important. Okay, so also, let's say we have too much energy coming into that third chakra. So this can leave us feeling like controlling, aggressive. So we're going to do fists of anger. So that way we can blow off some of that steam from the third chakra. So I want you to think of any ways that you're feeling maybe aggressive or angry. And we're going to do fists of anger to move through that. So we're going to bring our thumbs under our pinky mounds, and then our hands are going to come in front of us, and we're going to be doing O mouth breath. And give me 1 second. Okay. So hands out in front of us, O mouth breath. Arms come over the head. We're thinking about what makes us angry, what makes us frustrated, what activates our third chakra in excess. Make sure you're doing even inhale, even exhale. Inhale and release the fingers. Hold breath. Imagine white light all around you. Exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath. Direct the white light around you, above you. Exhale. Inhale. Surround yourself with white light. Exhale. Roll the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. Okay, so let's come onto our backs. So bring your knees into your chest. Rock left and right if that feels good. From here, the right ankle, let's rotate 3 times to the right and 3 times to the left. And the left ankle, 3 times to the right, 3 times to the left. And then let's come into Shavasana, corpse pose. So palms face the ceiling, let your feet fall to each side. Take up as much space on your mat here as you'd like. And go ahead and take 5 yogic breaths on your own. So you can put one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart if you'd like. Inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly in. And let your breath fall back into its natural rhythm. And just focus on your brow here. Just let your forehead relax. Feel the little muscles across your brow relax. Let your eyes relax. You can just let the little muscles at the corner of your eyes smooth over. Imagine a slight smile at the corner of the eyes. Just let your jaw relax. Let your tongue fall back into the root of your mouth. Imagine a slight smile at the corner of the lips. Just let your shoulders relax here. See if you can move inside the shoulders and feel the tension inside your shoulders. Imagine the tension moving from ice to water, and releasing from water to gas. Just letting go. Take a moment and focus on your fingertips here. See if you can feel the tingling aliveness right here and right now. And take a moment and focus on your heart. See what's present there. Maybe you're sad or angry or disappointed. Take note of whatever's there, and without covering anything over, just add a smile. Focusing on the belly, let your belly relax. Letting your breath fall back into its natural rhythm. Adding a smile across the navel. Focusing on your hips, just let your hips relax. Add a smile to that pelvic region. Feeling the weight and the volume of your legs as they take up space on your mat. Now see if you can focus on all parts of your body as a whole in this present moment right now. And gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring some life back into your limbs. Then bring your arm up over your head and roll over onto your side. And then come up into a seated position. Eyes closed, bring your hands to your heart. And we'll end our practice with spirit to spirit and healing streams of grace. So we're going to focus on our own spirits. So focus on the center of your chest. And if you don't see a color for your spirit, just make one up. And then acknowledge your healing guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors, and the highest versions of themselves. And then the higher power. And then we'll ask for healing streams of grace to come in and heal the inner wheel of our third chakra. And that's going to look like yellow streams of light coming over us and coming into that third chakra. So that way we can balance our third chakra, balance our life. And you just thank the healing streams of grace. Thank you. And thank you for coming to my class. Namaste.